Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back. So, it's been a minute. Life has been lifing. Our production is in full drive, and I have been MIA from my little channel for the past couple weeks. But welcome if you are new here. My name is Krista David. I'm an artist and entrepreneur, and on this channel I talk a lot about money and creative living and planners because I love all of those things. And hopefully the ways in which I am using and thinking about those things will be helpful to you. So welcome. I wanted to give a quick update on my cash envelope system. Now, I recorded this video cleaning up all of my envelopes, and then I think my camera card was full and it cut it off. And I looked at it and I said, no one needs a 29-minute video on an update on your cash envelope system. So I'm just gonna quickly recap that 29-minute video and walk you through the changes that I've made going into April. So if you want to hear about why I started this cash envelope system or decided to use this tool again in my financial wellness and independence journey, go back and look at the cash envelope setup video that I did. It all started around just me wanting to track my grocery spending because I felt like it was out of control for a household of one human and one furry child, a four-legged furry child. And I was also wasting a lot of food, and I just don't want to be wasteful, both in my money and also in my food. And I just want to be more intentional about it. So I said, let me go back to what I know works, which is the cash envelope system. It really helps you to be more intentional about how you spend your money, what you have left, etc., etc. And in February, I decided to come back to this really basic but powerful system. And I've made some changes because March was so busy that some of the things that I initially intended for this cash envelope system came crumbling down, but that's okay. Because if you watch my video on budgeting, you know that I tend to work in this hybrid way with my money. I love analog, so writing things on paper and tracking like with this cash envelope system. But I also know that my life can get busy, so having a sort of automatic way of tracking my finances is also important. So I use a budgeting app called Monarch Money. Not telling you to go out to go get that. That's what I'm using. It's not perfect. It's not even perfect for me. I kind of regret paying for the year, honestly. But I am grateful that I have something that I can quickly look at to see where I am with my budget for the month. So because I'm using Monarch Money and because things are really hectic right now, I've decided that I still want to track my grocery budget. I will not be using the cash envelope system in April. I think I'm just gonna keep track of it in my budget app, which I can easily pull up if I'm at the grocery store, and kind of keep tabs that way. Like look at it before I go into the grocery store just to make sure I know what I have to spend, and then be mindful about that as I put things in my cart. There are some envelopes that I'm gonna keep because I love them. So it's already clean. In the last video, things were really chaotic and messy, but I cleaned it up. So groceries is usually $400. Why did I put April on here? This should be March. My brain's not working. I think it was because I was, yeah, anyway, this is life. That's okay. March. That's all we gotta do. Let's just scribble it out and put March. So this is all for March. March got off at a doozy. I had to Instacart groceries, so I used my Amex to do that. And because my car broke down. And then I just decided to buy a new car, but that's for another video. We'll talk about debt in another video. But I had to Instacart groceries, which brought my balance down to $276.65. Oh wait, I should say at the end of February, what I learned from my, and I keep the old slips in here. Can I keep the slips? Yes, groceries. So I didn't put the final date from February, but I went over my grocery budget by $88. So let me just make a note of that, because I'm just gonna put a final note. Groceries, I put $488, just so that I have like a reminder. This is like a data point. This is data point 1. I'm going to be tracking my grocery spend for a few months and then decide whether or not I need to recalibrate this $400. I don't know if you can see that. So data point 1 is $488 is what I spent in February, and my budget was $400. I'm going to also look at March, which we can look at now together. That will give us data point 2. So in March, I have spent, there's a couple things going on here. Let me recalculate. This would have made sense if my last video would have loaded properly. $123.35 plus $87.70 plus $20.65 equals $231. And I believe I am going to the grocery store tomorrow with 21, 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, $35. So let's add $35 to that. So $266.70 is the cash I would have spent in March for groceries. So I know that sounds a little strange. You're like, okay, Krista, you have all this money left for your groceries. Not exactly. March was hectic, so I ate out and ordered out, and my eating out budget was more than what I budgeted for. So I didn't buy groceries, but I did eat out. But this is the amount of groceries that I would have spent in March. But I'm pretty sure my eating out budget, let me just check Monarch Money real quick to see if I can calculate what happened with that. Looks like I ate out $115. $115 on my card. So I guess I did come in under budget this month, but that's something to note. So I will write that down here, that as like a final note, a final data point for February, is that groceries was $381.70 plus eating out was $115. And this is not really groceries, because in this $381, I ate out for brunch here. And I think this $115 doesn't include the money that I spent today, because I ate out today actually, and it was about $20. So let's just say 20, this is $135. Yeah, so that just gives you a sense of the money I had for food for this month is $516.70. Now, my eating out budget is not supposed to go over $75, but it went to $135, and I took some of that money out of the grocery budget. But the point is that I spent $516.70 on food this month. And again, this is just a data point for me to look at when I recalibrate my monthly grocery budget come May. So I'm gonna try the $400 again in April and see where I land. And then by May, I should have a real good sense of, hey, I probably need to extend my grocery budget to $500 or $475 or whatever. I just want to be realistic, and sometimes you can't be realistic with your budget until you have some data points. So 3 months of data points I think will be good for me, and then I will recalibrate that. But going into May and April, I won't be doing cash envelopes, so I won't have this come April. I'm just gonna swipe my card, keep track of it in my app. This has $35 left in it. I'm gonna use this tomorrow, which is March 31st, to buy some juicing supplies like apples and kale. I just want to make some fresh juices for the week. I'm gonna spend the full $35 at the grocery store getting that stuff, and only that stuff, and then use my Amex for groceries going forward. Shopping will stay. I don't add money to this. This is just if I sell something in my house as I'm decluttering, I put it in here, and then I use this cash to buy other things that I need from like Facebook Marketplace or the thrift store. So this still has $80 from February. I didn't sell anything in March, and I didn't spend anything in March, but this is gonna stay. The next thing I did in March, this is my gifts envelope. Again, I think because most of my family, not most of my family, but my family is in New York, and this past holiday they came down, and I like to be able to be generous when my family comes, so paying for like entertainment or food or whatever the case may be, even airplane tickets. But having money set aside for that is going to help tremendously. So I'm doing $100 a month. I did it in February and I did it in March, and I have $200 in here. Next week I'll add another $100 and we'll have $300. And so by the end of the month, end of the year, I should have $1,100, but I think I'm gonna try to figure out how to get an extra 100 in here so we can end the year with $1,200. So 100 for each month. But I'll do that later, and any extra money that is floating around I can add into here. So that is staying. That is working really well. Car maintenance. So when I put this together in February, I was still driving my 2006 Honda Accord, the first car I've ever gotten. I bought it used and said I would ride it until the wheels fell off. The wheels are just fine. The car was just giving me consistent issues, and it started to weigh heavily on my mental health, so I decided I'm gonna buy a car. I knew I was gonna buy a new car. I thought I was gonna buy it last year, and then at the top of the year I said, oh, I'll wait until the end of the year. But sometimes you just get pushed into what needs to happen. So I bought a brand new car, like brand new, 14 miles on it, 2024 Mazda CX-5. It's wonderful, turbo, everything, fully loaded. We'll talk about that in another video, in my debt video. But I don't really need car maintenance because all that stuff is included with my insurance and with the car. But I want to keep this going because now that I have a brand new car, I have to go get my car washed more often than twice a year, which is what I was doing with my Honda. My new car is white, and Penelope Joy, that is the name of my car, she needs to stay looking nice. So I'm gonna keep doing $50 a month in here and just use this for car wash. Now when I go to the car wash, paying cash is easy. I don't necessarily have to use my card. So I'm gonna keep this going. So I have $100 in here, and then next week I'll put $50 in. Okay. The other thing update that I'm still loving is this beauty envelope. So I did start it with 100. My plan is to do 100 every month. Initially, I thought that I would stop after $300, but I actually think I'm just gonna keep this going, because even though I have a pretty simple skincare routine, I don't wear a lot of makeup or buy a lot of makeup. Every now and again, I like to experiment. So just having cash on hand to be able to say, oh, I think I want to try this new serum, and it may be, I don't know, $50, $75, whatever. I will have money that I can like grab this and then head to Sephora. So I will keep adding $100 to this, and just, you know, there may be some months where I'm like, oh, I don't want to add any money to it, but for now this is going to stay in my budget. And then this final envelope is just my deposit envelope, so cash on hand. And started with just me having $910 in the house. And today I moved over $55 for some of these other envelopes. One envelope being, I used to have a pets envelope for my dog's grooming. I decided to close that out because it's just not working. My groomer, my pet groomer, I can pay her via Zelle. That's just easy. Also in March, I spent $435 on my dog for various health things that needed to happen with him. And that kind of threw me off with the money that I had in here, which I think was only $75. So I just said, you know what? Books is going to, that's my dog, Books. He is going, I want to see if I have, oh yeah, I have it here. Yeah, I had $75 in here. So I just reallocated that to different envelopes. So we're going to get rid of the pets and just keep track of it in Monarch money. But I did move over $55 that was still left over from March. And I'll just keep adding money into this envelope until I'm like, okay, let's just go deposit it. And then when I deposit it, this is going to go into my high yield savings account. So that is the update on the cash envelope system. I love it, but a few envelopes have not survived, and I'm okay with that because the system has to work for where you are in your life and what you're trying to do. And I have decided I only need a couple envelopes, so I'll be taking out next week $100 for the beauty envelope, $50 for car maintenance, $100 for holiday. And that's it. $250 cash every month will go into my envelopes, sinking funds, and then groceries will just be a debit on my Amex. And I feel okay with that. And who knows, middle of the year, I may add some more sinking funds or whatever. But I do love handling cash. I love having cash. I love seeing it pile up. I love money and money loves me. And yeah, that's the update. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you are having success with your cash envelopes. Any tips? I would love to know what envelopes you have, because maybe there's some things I'm not thinking about having cash envelope for. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. Please comment, like, subscribe, share, do all the things. Love having you here, and there will be more videos to come. Okay, so thank you, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!